Hello, hello, hello. So we're back, finally back to our streams. Let's double check our stream strengths for tonight before we begin. So we're doing good with Twitch and doing good as well for YouTube. And let's see. With our post, go through and Facebook. That's it. So good evening, everyone here. The Philippines, and everyone tuning in to tonight's stream. Going to be in for a treat because I've heard of this game a while back, even when I was in college, but again, since I did not have any hardware available to play this game and actually purchase it, that was actually out of the question. So right now, hold on, let's check our volume. Good. Yeah. This is the first time I'm going to play this game, so I do hope you guys enjoy it. So let's double check our settings first. Do the video. Everything looks good so far. And I'm also assuming that our rig can what do you call this? Play the game. Right, so we'll be starting new game, but first, of course, since I do think this is going to be very technical, I do need to go through training program. Let's start with the training first. So getting started and basic construction. Getting started basic construction. This was rocket scientist Werner von Kernemann himself. I'm sorry if I read that incorrectly. Covers the basics rocket construction and the whole vehicle assembly building. Waiting for you down there, and it's always high in the back. Don't doubt it. Right, let's do this. Basic construction. Welcome to today's lecture on vessel construction. I'm Werner von Kerman. Oh, it's not actually a person. Whether you want to put a satellite in orbit, make a transcontinental flight, or step into the very surface of the moon, you need to build yourself a ship. Pretty easy, even if you're not a famous rocket scientist. So in this tutorial, I will first show you around the Kerbal Space Center and take you to the vehicle assembly building where you'll learn how to construct a simple ship. Cover adding and removing parts. Parts 2, how to change the performance settings of the parts which have that option, and how to control the staging. At the end of the tutorial, you will have a craft kit for a quick pop from the launch pad. Each step I will lock out all controls other than the ones you need for that step. Well, that's a good thing. You might mistakenly click other things during this tutorial. If you still manage to mess up, giving me some time to become as good as I am now. You can press the back button, go back to the settings. It won't light up unless you do mess up. Okay. So we are now at the Kerbal Space Center. I'll give you a quick rundown on how to get around. ASC for short is home to the pinnacle of Kerbal endeavor and achievements for space exploration. Using the facilities you can see here, you will be able to manage your space program, create rockets and planes, track your Kerbal explorers as they roam the solar system, find exciting new uses for explosive substances, and in case of emergency, hire more Kerbals. So what I'm assuming is the Kerbals are these guys, so the locals in this world. Find out about each of the facilities. You can hover over your mouse over them or the facilities button. They show up when the cursor is outside this window. If you need to repair a structure or upgrade them in the rear, you can do this by right-clicking them. Take some time to hover the mouse over the buildings and see what they each are, and then when you're ready, enter the vehicle assembly building, or VAB. Right. So tracking station, research and development, astronaut complex, administration building, space plane hangar. This is where we're going to need to go. Runway. Right. Good so far. Ooh. Inside the BAB. Pretty good. You see in the middle of the screen is the construction area. This is where parts are placed in your craft is constructed. On the left side of the screen is the parts toolbox. It will show you all the parts that you have available in each of the different categories once there are any to pick. That's it. If you want your aircraft to be controllable, you need a command module, and it's the best to make it the first part to place. This part will either contain some plucky Kerbal crew or an automated pilot mechanism. As we're just starting, there's only one choice. Go ahead and pick command module from the pods tab. So pods. Hold on, let's move our mic here. Pods. Pods tab. Good. Pod? Did I miss it? Oh. Good. Right. After at least one part is placed, you can look around with the following control. Orbit camera. Using arrow keys or right mouse drag, move the camera up and down, page up and down, or scroll wheel. There we go. Oh, nice. Zoom in. A shift mouse. Ooh, that's nice. Right. We can see the Kerbals walking around below. Right. If you'd like your pilot to be able to make more than one flight, he or she will have to return safely to the ground or water on Kerbin. So I'm assuming Kerbin is the planet. Parachutes are a simple way to make sure that happens. They can be found on the Utility tab. Change the task by clicking on the icons on the left side of the window. So Utility. This one. When you're choosing parts, you can view the details of the parts available by hovering over them in the toolbox. When the info is visible, most parts have an additional information window which can be opened with the right click. Note that the parachute states that the effective diameter in each state and what the maximum safe speed for deployment is. Go ahead and select the MK16 parachute by left-clicking on it. One. Then move it to the bottom. The parachute. Then move it to the top of the command pod. So that. And go. There we go. Next. Adjusting part options. Some parts, like our parachute here, have configurable options. To use, we need to right-click on the parachute. You just attach to the pod. There we go. To see that we can adjust our altitude and atmospheric pressure at which distance. So yeah, this game is fairly technical, so we need to read most of these instructions so that we can play this properly. Where was I? Now let's just check the opening height on the chute. At least 100 meters or 1,000 meters, because safety is the Kerbal way after all. For the minimum pressure slider, move it a bit to the right. Point 2. There we go. Setting prevents the chute from activating until the atmospheric pressure is above the configured value. On Kerbal, 0.2 is about 9 kilometers in altitude. So even if you're staged early and arm the parachute, it will wait until then activate. You can use these options by right-clicking on the background scene or picking up another part. Right. Next up, you're going to need something to make us go. Click on the Engines tab. So Engines. There we go. The top left to show available engines and solid rocket motors. Grab one. Ooh. I think you need to go back further. Grab one and connect it to the bottom of the pod. View. There we go. There we go. Right. Next. So I forgot. Just starting out, you're not a famous rocket scientist. And to make the craft survivable as it stands now, you'd have to be better at rocket science than me. Impossible. Problem with that craft is that this solid rocket is too powerful for payload, the small pod on the chute. Will either burn up on the ascent from going too fast or burn up coming back down. Even if you survive that, craft's mass will cause it to fall too fast for the parachute to operate properly, and you'd hit the surface before stop you. Okay, I promise to teach you how to change that to make it work later in a later tutorial, but for now let's continue. At least this way I have to tell you about the moving parts. So up the back bumper and press delete. There we go. Next, right solid motor. So instead, let's add solid motor. That's a better match for this ship. For the ship this size. Part of your career, we will have what I consider rubbish parts. Literally, the motor here looks like it may well be a converted trash can. That said, it does not have enough oomph to get this little craft moving skyward and quickly. To progress, you will be able to unlock more engines and other parts. Now let's pick up the RT5. So this is one. Catch it there. And connect to the bottom of the pod. Next. Staging stack. Nice one. To build the simplest survivable craft possible. Don't launch this right now, but it'd be safer to explain one other thing. The bottom right, you will see the staging stack. This one. Okay. It's the box with the number 0 and icons for the parachute and engine in it. This stack shows us which parts will activate as we stage our rocket. What this shows is that when we activate the next stage, both the engine and the parachute will be triggered. While this could be considered funny to open the parachute and fire the motor at the same time, it's not going to give you much of a flight. To fix this, we need to separate the engine and the chute into 2 stages. If you mouse over the 0 stage, you will see a little plus and minus sign here to the left of the box. So click the plus on the bottom. Go. And add a new stage. If you add too many, click the minus button to remove them. Make sure you have precisely 2. Next. Adjusting the staging stack. Excellent. It's important to note that the stages activate from the highest number and then count down. So first stage will be stage 1, the engine, and our second stage will be 0, the chute. Now drag the icon stage 0 down to 1. Give our pilot some so engine first. 1. And our second one. Second one will be chute. First stage will be the engine. Like this. There we go. Nice number first, huh? That one. Saving it for later. That's it. Now have a safe, relatively safe craft that's ready to go. Let's make sure that if we need this design again, we don't have to build it all from scratch. At the top of your screen, we will see the name of our craft. Untitled spacecraft doesn't seem to be majestic. So why don't you change that to be something more your style, and you can add a description if you'd like to. When you use the load screens later, these names and descriptions will help you grab the right ones. Okay, maybe the basic. Enter ship description. This is our basic spacecraft with a basic engine and pod. So, use the load screen. Yeah. When you're happy with the name, click on the save icon. Left, right. Okay, excellent work. Feel free to play around with the parts and techniques I've shown you, and when you're ready, continue. Press the red button in the upper right. Exit. Back in the training menu, try the Flight Basics tutorial to learn how to fly this little aircraft. And then the intermediate construction tutorial can teach you more about the editor. Alright. Yeah, this seems solid enough. And as we go around, you can also see everything really from below or from above. Let's leave and proceed to the next training scenario. Basically, easy enough so far. Alright, so we have a new one. Welcome to Space Kerbal Training Launch Facility. Welcome to the Space Center Launch Facility. I'm Gene Kerman, and I will teach you the basics of piloting a spacecraft. Plus, you've already checked the basic construction tutorial. If not, I recommend you do so before going through this one. Today we'll do a run through all of the important controls for your spacecraft. Our little hopper, your basic construction, assembled with the burner. May not have all of them, but I will do a full run through once, see how it flies. So, basic flight control. Flying a spacecraft is all about being in control of a generally very chaotic situation. As a pilot, your main flight controls will take effect, pitch, yaw, and roll of the ship. Look at those first. All the other controls will be locked until then. Okay. So roll, how the actual pod, turn, yaw. I don't really see the difference between yaw and pitch. Okay, no. Pitch or yaw first is going clockwise, this space, and then for pitch is going to be affecting this roll. So pitch, yaw, and roll. So you control your ship using these controls. So pitch up, S and W, yaw left and right, A and D, roll left and right, U and E. By controlling pitch, yaw, and roll together, you can keep the ship right now and notice. Oh, so this is our role. Yeah, we can't. Oh, we do have actually an indicator here, lower left side. Let's see. Okay, next, basic flight control. Throttle plus pitch, yaw, and roll are the main controls you'll need to master for a successful crash-free flight. Script the throttle control for now, as this vessel has no need for it. I'll explain it another time when it's of use. Remember that all of these controls have a limited amount of effectiveness, so bigger, heavier ships will probably respond much more sluggishly to controls than little small ones. Also, good to keep in mind that as the stages are separated from the ship, it will become lighter and eventually. This will usually mean easier for control. Next, let's look at the rest of the flight control. Next, staging. Not. Yeah. Thank you for the offer, Mace Sergio. Okay. And now? Right, so staging. Flight all planning into the staging sequence of your ship comes into play. From launch to the final deployment of the descent parachutes, you can control the activation of several of the ship's parts by pressing space, and activates the launch, and then activates. Notice the stage indicator on the lower left corner. It shows the currently stage. Since we haven't launched yet. Hold on. Notice the stage indicator in the lower left. Here we go. Shows the current stage. Since we haven't launched yet, it's showing the first stage as active. Have your staging controls locked for now, so the stage indicator is glowing purple. This one. One more thing on the staging: if the staging setup is causing strife, or you change your mind about something in the stage sequence, the fly, unintended, no need to go back to the assembly. A navball. So I'm guessing this is it. The important part of flying is knowing how your ship is oriented and where it is going. That's why a good pilot is always aware of the ship's altitude, where it's pointing, velocity vector, where it's going. These aren't always the same direction. As your skills improve, you should pick a big ground instrument on the lower center of the screen. Is called the nav ball. This device sums up most of the critical information needed for proper death-free flight. Here you see the ship's nose in relation to the horizon when you're not pointing up, really visible as the line between the sky and the brown ground, as well as its heading, compass bearing, and speed. You also get several icons that indicate things like your current velocity vector, but we'll have a look at those. Right, instruments in the top center. You have your altimeter, speed meter, and atmosphere gauge. The altimeter will show the distance on the surface at sea level, which means this means the actual surface may be much closer, so watch out for the ground when landing. The vertical speed indicator shows how quickly your altitude is changing. When launching, it's considered best to keep the gauge pointing. For this one, the atmosphere gauge indicates how deep the ship is in the planet's atmosphere. This helps you know if the ship is high enough for orbiting without losing speed to air resistance. Next, parachute indicators. One last thing before we give this rocket the green light. In the staging stack, you the indicator for your parachute. This indicator shows you the chute will be activated by staging. You already know that. But the background will also change color to indicate that when it's safe to stage the parachute. In the foreground, parachute of the icon itself change color depending on parachute states. Note, however, that by default, parachutes will not deploy when unsafe, even if you stay. Last three shows safety. These ones shows safe, risk, and unsafe to deploy. The chute is on stage to white in the left area. The right three show the state of staging, so armed, deployed, and cut or shredded. You move when you're familiar with the chute icon, colors. Right, ready to launch. Okay, and unlock. I'll unlock the flight controls, and you'll be clear for launch. Yeah, we're green now. Anytime, you may press escape to pause the game. In the pause menu, you can restart the flight or this tutorial. Choose a scenario. Now get yourself prepared and hit the space button when ready to launch. Forget our hopper only has a solid rock mode, so there's no need for a throttle. That's why we didn't review throttle here. Make sure you fly in a nice high arc and enjoy the flight. So roll one, so yaw for the tilting and the pitch. Right. This. This is harder to control than it seems. Push. Oh no! God. Short light, short launch. That again. Alright. Go one more time. X. X. Right, so where were we? Right, try it again. I tilted earlier, which I shouldn't have. Nice. Our Kerbal is doing good. Moving upwards. Right. Good so far. Dropping now. There we go. Nice. Boop, boop. Right? Good. Over. Nice. And low. That side here. I think remove it until it reaches the water line. Yeah, take that, Elon. Our Kerbal, Valentina Kerman is happy. There you go. Nice. Well done. You survived your first hit. When you're landed or splashed on win and not in the thing, you can point the mouse above altimeter, the cover button. Oh, where was I? It has to be picked up. And also unlock the crew hatch. If you feel like going out for a walk or swim, you can click EA. Is that? Also unlock the. How do we outside? I've unlocked crew hatch, so not for a walk or swim. Okay, next. Vehicular. This one. Ooh. I'm out. Right. Nice. Pop up the button on portrait and Kerbal. For a walk, you can use this one or collect surface. Oops. Alright. I'm off. I'm. Let's try one more time. Try to land in water, that direction. Alright. I go above water. There we go. Earlier we just tried to deploy parachute. There we go. Oh. This really needs view to be precise. Close. Yeah, I think landing on water. Nice. Awesome. So, like, this is a more solid scent now. So we're flying across the water more, or we flew across the water more, or farther away compared to the first one. Right. Let's just wait. We the water. I just needed to know what happens when we, what do you call this, try to land on water. You can see I'm not pressing anything right now, and the ship or the pod is really stable and actually more meters per d that, so 20 meters. Nice. EVA. Long time out. Nice. Sir, Kerbal is actually able um to, what do you call this, swim compared to the other games during the time this was released. Right. The next would be intermediate construction. Let's start. Yeah, again, I really did wanted to go for more of a slow stream tonight, just back into the border. So hello again, glad you could come back. Get started, go ahead and enter the map, and I'll do an overview of what we've built. Here we are again, now to business. If you remember, in our last construction tutorial, we covered how to build a simple hopper and some of the basics of the construction area. This tutorial will expand your knowledge of the more useful lab, and we'll build a more complex craft that will be able to get us out of the atmosphere. To build our new design, let's start with the craft. The craft we built in the basic construction tutorial, but this one is just called a hopper. This will save us a little bit of time. A little bit of time, and the accounting department is always happy when we save. Then hopper load. There we go. If you mess up, you can recreate the craft. Right, so if you mess up, you can recreate delete the craft file somehow. We're here. I don't know what we need to do next. And order. want to save Minecraft? What is it? I'm not sure what's happening. Okay. Load. Here. Up. Again, open. Click on this one. Click. Load the hopper. Then remove its. Oh, okay. There we go. So unlike last time, we won't be bringing the whole vessel back, so we can change our parachute stats from what we used before. Right click on parachute. Verify its deployment altitude is set to 1000. Go. Last time, but also set the minimum pressure slider to all the way right in 75. That corresponds to an altitude on Kerbal of about 2 kilometers and means much shorter time hanging around during the summer. And first off, let's change the name of our craft. We want to still have our trash and special for later on. Change the name up. So how about upper? Right. So adding some extra functionality. Great. This craft we are going to give the ship some additional purpose by attaching a science experiment. We can run these experiments during our travels and get valuable science data for Kerbal kind. There are a number of science experiments to be performed, but at the moment we only have the ability, we have the mystery goo containment unit available. Switch to science tab. Science, there we go. To look at it, this one is the most basic scientific experiments Kerbal scientists have devised, and one of the first things they want to try understand better. I mean, they don't even know what color goo is. Using symmetry, when you pick up the part, you will see that's it designed size of the other parts, i.e. radially. Attach only one of these during flight over planets. One way to solve this is to add an extra goo container on the opposite side. I see. So let's go for attaching it on these two sides. And one on the other one. So set this 2x, then pick up the container. Remember to place canisters near the nose. Go to the nose. There you go. Balance. Right, next. Decoupling. We have added too many more parts here. The craft making will be too heavy to survive re-entry safely. Too heavy to be slowed down by a pressure. We will need to add a decoupler below the pod. Couplers can be found on the top tab. There we go. And will let us fit the aircraft when we no longer need the lower part. And we won't be able to recover discarded parts, but our craft and our Kerbal will survive entry and landing. This can be used many ways, but for now, let's just add one bottom of the pod. Go. Bottom of the pod. Go to the coupling tab, get a 3D Oh, both the stack decouplers have arrows. Arrows. These arrows shows which side the decouples. Make sure that your decouple arrow is pointing up. It will be by resetting the stage stack. Well done. You'll recall, I hope, that in the previous tutorial we had to adjust the staging stack when we added the engine to our earlier rocket. When you add a decoupler, extra stage is automatically added to the stack so that any new parts below the decoupler won't be staged at the same time as those above it. Right. You can of course still move these all around, but hopefully this will save you some time as you go. If you ever want to return to this staging setup, set button at the bottom of the staging stack. Okay, adding some fuel tanks. This time we're going to use liquid rocket engine. Like solid rocket motors, these engines don't carry their own propellants with them. We need to add some fuel tanks. Go to the fuel tank tab. Here's ones. We're still using the early part, so there are only FLT 100s. So this one is it. This is another area like engines management being better parts. So we're going to need 5 of these tanks to get us this. Before you grab 5 tanks from the part toolbox, though, let me give you another tip. Because you see, it's my middle name. Looks right. Once you place the first tank on the rocket, you can duplicate that by holding the left alt. Okay. 1. 2, 3, 4. No. 1, 2, 3, 4. Times touch without having to go back to the. Okay. Adding the rocket engine. Good. Okay, switch over to the engines tab now. The swivel will be 45 fuel engine. Here obviously is different from the flea. This is a liquid engine and it needs and burns both liquid fuel and oxidizer. Funnily enough, that's where we added the rocket. Touch the swivel. Okay. So bottom of the rocket stack now, and keep an eye on the staging stack. See how it changes. Cool. Right. Next, adding fins for balance. We are mostly there and you're doing fine, maybe not as someone of my caliber though. Last thing we're going to need to do is give this rocket a little better stability, so going the way we want to. We will achieve this by adding some fins near the bottom of the rocket. Fins can be found on the aerodynamics tab. Set the symmetry mode times 4. So we will place them both axes, also turn on angle snap. Turn on angle snap by clicking on the bottom button next to the symmetry icon by pressing C. Tap a basic fin on the last rocket tank and you'll be able to see symmetry, no, aerodynamics, no. Set the symmetry. Where do you set symmetry? So he said to put it on the last one. Hold on. Set symmetry times 4, so we will place them on both axes. Where is this? Center of mass, toggle snap. Ah, there we go. There we go. Oh, let's closer look. Right. Awesome. Next. Ready to rock. Excellent. We've now got a rocket that will let us reach for the stars. Admittedly, I'd say reach for, as this is the basic rocket which we orbit, but on the bright side, that means re-entry will also be basic. We've done a great job in building a basic hopper and a sub-orbit capable rocket. Hopefully, you've learned a few things about how to build the craft and how to use some of the shortcuts that are in here. Feel free to hang around a bit and try your hand at other things. Perhaps you could look at the next lesson on suborbital flight, where you will be able to see how well this rocket performs, or head over to the science tutorials to advance your career and unlock more parts. Show yourself out to the construction facility. The red button at the top right when you're done experimenting. Auf Wiedersehen. Any vessels created here will be lost when you exit. This is just for playing. Fine. Ooh. So we do have a lot of options available for us, but now let's and move on to the next thing. Suborbital flight. Okay. So again, glad you can make it back. Today we will take an exciting step, getting our first Kerbal into space. Please remember the controls we discussed on the basic flight tutorial, but don't forget you can always press escape, click the view, key binding buttons for it. Our mission today is to make short suborbital get out over the water. A nice arcing path that first agent survivable re-entry, straight up and straight down. Not so good for the survival. I've set up the pink target indicator. Oh, hold on. Target indicator on the nav ball as aim point. Ah, this one. But do note that this is not the case for normal missions. The target marker is normally used for other things. Does not help with ascents. So starting with the nose pointing straight up, the launch pad for 90 degrees elevation from the eastern horizon. So 80 degrees elevation on the nav ball by 100 meters. Ooh, this is really technical. Start at 50 meters per second, then tilt east to the nav ball by 400 meters per second. Start at 200 meters. After burnout, post up base and have a look around. Before re-entry, lastly re-enter, and lastly. Once you reach burnout, I'll have a bit more time to discuss some other things. About 80 degrees. How do we do that? Way. So throttle control. Unlike the hopper in our first mission, this craft has dual engines. This means we can throttles set out to power the ship's engines. Throttle is controlled by the following keys: left shift, throttle up; left control, throttle down; throttle max is Z, and throttle cut off is. Alright. So if we max it and then stop. I see. SAS stands for Stability Augmentation System. Although Kerbal astronauts usually refer to it as Sickness Avoidance Scheme. Whatever it stands for, what it does is try to stop the ship from spinning around using the controlled auto torque drive compensate. energy to counteract rotation of the ship. In simplest mode, it will keep the ship aligned. Orientation it has when you turn SAS on, or if you pitch yaw while SAS is on, the orientation will release. Oh, there we go. SAS can be activated or deactivated momentarily by holding down F. It can be toggled by pressing the T. Have problems following the maneuvers once you enable SAS and lift off. You can click the small red button to the left side of the nav ball. Small red button. Where is it? Seeing it here. Miniature target indicator, lower left, all the buttons. Maybe this one. To cause this has to follow the target indicator and fly for you. Note, this autopilot function will not be available until you are flying. This graph is a bit too much engine, so we're going to throttle down for launch. Set your throttle to 2/3. Upper, those were not just either upper middle. Also turn on your SAS to help control things to keep you pointed where you want to be. So throttle down, upper, the 2 middle. There we go. There we go. Right. Needed information ahead. During this lesson, some of the information is quite detailed and could take a while to read. As this is a short subtitle of a hop, and I don't want you to miss anything important. I'll place a warning at the top of the pages where you might want to pause the game to read. Warning will look like this. Right. Okay, enough talk. I'll unlock the rest of the flight controls and you'll be clear to launch. Anytime you may press escape, pause the game, and pause menu you can start the flight, or end this tutorial and return the enable target marker on the nav ball. Give it a look to make sure you see it, and then get ready to flight this candle. Double check your throttle set to 2/3. Again, the upper of the 2 middle notches on the slider. And SAS is in it. Right. Start turning at 50 meters. Right. Do this. Good. Right. Press. Now time to start turning. Follow the target marker to 80 degrees by the time you reach 180. Steady on 70, looking good. Now let's turn a little more. Aiming to get 70 pitch line. And follow the marker as well. Shoot. Oh no. Oh no. You remove the rock. That again. I knew I made a mistake when I next. Right, so 2/3, so max it down and then throttle down. Then press T. Go. Follow the target marker to 80 degrees by the time you reach 150. Good. Hold steady, throttle up, eccentric. You've got the rocket just where it be in order to reach space. You should be able to let SAS pick up steady for a while as we go ahead and throttle up to full power. And throttle up. Nice. Oh, warning. Data info, press escape to pause. Hey, great work. You've succeeded in getting your first ship onto the trajectory bound for space. You've now set your target indicator to align with your velocity vector. Minimize drag by setting the smallest side of the vehicle airflow. Somewhere around here, you will see the nav ball speed indicator switch, surface orbit, accompanied by speed number jumping. Go ahead and switch back to surface mode by clicking on it until it says surface again. And you might have noticed some flickering flames and near the end of your power burn there. High speed of your aircraft atmosphere. Normally, percent would be a little slower, but I'm sure my friend Burner has helped you build a ship that can withstand this heat. And besides this high and this low, you'll be fine. If you want to have a look at the trajectory, you can map using the M key. Have a look at your plan. Just remember back to flight mode. Ooh, far. Now that we are coasting our way to up this, that's the highest point. Okay, on our current projected path, not a little time to check. Once you clear the atmosphere, we'll go over. Right, so as long as we have SAS enabled, no any problems. Any sound? Do we? Not sure. No, I don't. View. We're nearing the apoapsis. Right. Kerbal is doing fine. Look at our spacecraft for now. Good. Moving up. Here we go. While we're floating up here beyond the atmosphere, I'll quickly tell you about a couple of things you can do. With advanced enough astronaut complex in the KSC, you can train our Kerbals to be able to spacewalk for PA, so we won't be doing this on this flight. Also, when we're carrying science devices like our goo containers, we feel free to play with the goo canisters now by right-clicking on them, and I'll let you know it's time to overnight. Right-click. The goo clump in the atmosphere becomes brittle. Okay. As we near the edge of the atmosphere again, time to reorient the pod to get ready for re-entry. Only going to re-enter with pod and the chute and glue canister. We're not going to decouple yet. In real missions, it's best to keep your upper stage around until the last moment. You never know when you might need it. Anyway, best to re-enter bottom first. Since we ascend about 70 degrees pitch, we'll naturally re-enter about negative 70 degrees pitch. That means you want to aim the top of the capsule at 70 degrees pitch line. That's really hard to see here. Pitch line, but the opposite heading. This is at the heading of 270 on the nav ball and the 70 degrees pitch, and I've placed the target marker in here to help you see. So turn off SAS and change your altitude. Turn back. Change your altitude, okay? And turn it back on again. Right then. How do we? Okay. Turn off SAS. E. Then realign. Shift. There. Nice. Nice. Right. So even though we do have a lot of things to read before we actually play the game, really helpful to understand all these things first. Okay, now it's time to get rid of the booster since it's just weighing us down. Page, discard the unneeded parts. Right, so aerodynamic stabilization. During re-entry, your pod oriented this way, drag producing dynamic forces alone will hold it properly stabilized. So it's time to turn off SAS. Turn SAS off and let the air do the work for you. Once off and you've hit the atmosphere, we'll move to the next bit. SAS. Now re-entering. Make sure to keep all hands and feet inside of the pod all times. You don't want to get you getting burnt or doing or anything. Don't mind the flames. Werner is world famous rocket scientist after all. He's built the ship to its last time you watch the parachute icon, wait for the right time to open the chute. This time we're going to do something a little different. Remember in the construction tutorial where you designed this vessel, you set the chute to not deploy until 75 atmospheres of pressure. That means the chute won't perform the first of its two deployment steps until then. Even if you activate it by staging now on turbine, 0.75 ATM means about 2,000 meters altitude above sea level. The craft should be traveling slowly enough by then that the chute will survive deployment. Let's take a bold step, arming the chute now, and let parts in there pop the right attitude. You know you can trust me. Stage the chute now by pressing. Okay. Right. Right. Going a lot faster now. There's our three fuel tanks and the rocket engine itself. So awesome. While we set your chute to not actually semi-deploy around 2 kilometers, You need to ensure that opening height. You can even adjust the parameters during flight. So right click on the parachute now and check the sliders. Don't touch the pressure slider or bad things will happen. Make sure the full deploy altitude is no less than 1,000 meters, or you will not have enough time to stop. If you're satisfied, just hang on to about 2,000 kilometers and watch the parachute trigger itself according to the settings. Chosen. While we're waiting, I want you to look at the bottom of the capsule. Note that you do not have a heat shield. And you don't need one because it's such a gentle flight. It's such a gentle flight. Actually, a heat shield would make things more dangerous on this craft because additional mass would be pushing the limits of this model of parachute. See? Yep, set to 1000, so that's fine. So we actually started there, right? Debris, an airfield. Right, so see, we're starting the re-entry, but not as fast. And at 2,000 meters, when the set is to parachute will activate its own. Right, 1,000. Five or no, 6. Target. So 4. Just a few more. And it should go up right now. Alright. Nice. We're good. I want to press the yaw just to trickle it down. We're very sensitive. There we go. Managed to disable the yaw. The craft. So we're at 100 meters of sea. And we're descending at about a rate of 5 meters per second. Doing good. Third Jebediah Kerman. Doing well. There we go. Sessions of completing and even surviving your first real mission. Want to practice this again? Right now, just okay, let's swim. I feel that the capsules are bigger, I think, and Kerbals are not bigger than they seem. Anyway, let's end this now. And we're already 10 minutes in after the first hour of our stream. So next, we can just target for at least advanced construction and go for orbit again for this one. And I am quite enjoying myself playing this one, so I might play this off stream because it's quite relaxing. And having, or once I'm done with all of the tutorials here and doing my own missions, I think it's going to be, or I'm going to have another or an update for this using a stream as well. Anyway, let's go for advanced construction, and let's see Werner again. Right. Okay, let's go to that again. In our last tutorial, we built a vessel that could escape the atmosphere but didn't have a bit of oomph to escape for long. This time around, we'll cover more advanced rocket designs concepts like multiple stages and boosters, as well as extra parts like RCS and solar panels. You'll want these if you want to spend more than a few minutes in orbit. When we're done, you'll have a craft capable of ascent to orbit, orbital operations, and a safe return to Kerbal. And you can test it out and go for orbit situation, which we will teach you to make use of it. Notice that there's a lot more parts available this time because an orbit capable craft, much more complex than the little puddle jumper I showed you how to make last time. However, main principles are the same. I hope you remember what I taught you. Mess up, say somehow manage to delete your whole craft, cozy and do your best. Okay, select the pod again. Huh, not here. Then we can. Pod is not here. Right. Select parachute. Is it city? No. Dust. Pressure 75. Stage. Now we're going to upper stage. This upper stage will finish placing the pod in orbit, and once there, provide steering, thrusters, and electricity for the pod. We'll also provide all maneuvering capability in orbit, including the entry burn. It's going to consist of a decoupler. We want to carry it home, RCS fuel tank, a liquid fuel tank, 4 RCS thrusters, 4 solar panels, 4 batteries, and an efficient upper stage engine. Quite shopping list. Connect. With me when you next. So, add a stack decoupler. We will add a stack decoupler below the pod to let us discard the parts when we don't bring it with us. Grab a decoupler from the toolbox. Go. At the bottom of the pod, playing close to arrows. For which radial decoupler? For which one do we need? Maybe this one? Oh. So we didn't see it earlier, but this is, I think, what he means. So arrows showing pointing up. If the arrows are pointing down, that's not good. I touch the pad. I see. Need on RCS tank. RCS stands for Reaction Control System, and this fuel will help us with the fine maneuvers. To tanks category, and add an FLR120 RCS fuel tank. So tanks. Oh no. Fuel tanks. 400 R120. R120. Go. Quick RCS loading. Craft is not going to need all the monopropellant in the tank. Save some weight, right click it to get the parts options and move the slider down to 96 unit. 9. Right. We'll be adding multiple liquid fuel tanks in this stage. Get the right amount for the upper stage. Oh. Q for the follow. This This long name. Don't read. This is a long name. Don't read it. That's good. That's good. All right. Welcome to the stream. So we're just playing Kerbal Space Program. This is the first one, launched in 2011. We're just doing what is this again? The advanced building section now. Right, where were we? We'll be adding multiple liquid fuel tanks in the stage to get the right amount for the upper stage engine, and we need an extra tank to offset the weight of the RCS. So add a tiny rocket tank. So it's the one named FLT100. One that add a medium. Oh man, by the way, I was looking around and came across your stream. Maybe I can help you out. Maybe in the future. I'll let you know. Not right now because I'm just starting out as well. But yeah, thank you for the offer. Right, so first, FLT100, this one. So, and E400 tank below it. There we go. Let's add a Terrier engine. So lastly, for the main parts of this upper stage, we'll add an engine. The Terrier engine produces almost no thrust at sea level air pressure. It's highly efficient in space and above 2,000 or 20,000 kilometers, where the atmosphere is thin enough to not interfere with the exhaust. This makes a good choice for an upper stage, since the engine will not be activated until the rocket has reached conditions where this kind of engine works. If you select the wrong engine, you can always throw it away and try again. Add an LV909 Terrier. So let's go back to engines. Go. So this is one. So we're looking good so far. So this looks like one of our. Oh yeah. Thank you for that. And I'll sure do let you know if I need some help in the future. Where were we? Yeah. So yeah, this looks like something that I've seen on what do you call this? NASA documentaries before in Discovery or National Geographic. Yeah. Next, show center of mass. Nicely done. Pretty well assembled upper stage, if I do say so myself. It'll get you to orbit if you put enough rocket under it. While we have this reasonable simple vessel here, let's explore one of the other useful tools we have available. To make sure that your ship flies controllably, some parts need to be placed carefully around the point inside the ship called the center of mass, or the COM is a spot where mass on this one side is balanced by the mass on the other side. Thrust applied through the COM will cause the ship to move without unwanted rotation, while thrust properly applied around the COM will cause the ship to rotate without moving. This makes the COM such a useful, important thing that we added a tool so that the assembly building can show it to you with a marker. So let's have a look at it now. Indicator light here. So click on the COM. So where is the COM? Ah, here we go. And toggle the indicator. There's a picture here. So nice. So watch the COM. Let's adjust the fuel levels in some of the tank. Center of mass. So let's try with this one. Drag the fuel and of the propellants down to 0. Don't touch the monopropellant levels. They won't be burned by the Terrier engine. So drag. Where was it? Get your Discord account. I will add you. I don't actually have a Discord just yet. Maybe I'll create one after the stream. This is going to be official for this channel, and DM you after the stream. All right, yeah, let's do that. Thank you as well. Right. Yeah, right click on each of the fuel tanks and drag the fuel in so that it prevent down levels down to 0. Ooh. To the center of mass. Force changes. I see. What? Right click. Don't touch the monoplan as they won't be. As you're doing this, you'll see us move. Okay. So I think need to. There we go. Okay, now go ahead and refill the tanks, and we can proceed to some of the accessories to our upper stage. They'll transform it from merely something that gets us into orbit into something that helps us. Alright. There we go. Okay, now, where to place RCS thrusters? Now that you know where the COM is and when the stage is full and when it's empty, you have information you need to place the thrusters. RCS thrusters are found in the command and control category. Command and control. There we go. These look familiar. Moving the spaceship without rotating it's called translation. This is a useful kind of maneuver for several reasons, including docking to another craft. In order for translation with RCS to avoid unwanted rotation, you need to balance the thrusters around the COM. So the net sum of the forces is balanced right on the natural pivot point for 2 equal sets of thrusters. Each set should be equidistant from the COM, and for a single set, what we're doing here, they should be right around the COM itself. So what makes it complicated is that the COM changes during the flight. So as you just saw, we need to place thrusters at a compromise point between the wet COM and the dry COM. Note that in career mode games, RCS thrusters don't become available until fairly late. In the meantime, the reaction wheel capability built into your command pod is probably enough to reduce for turning in space through reaction wheels will not allow you to translate. Right? So placing the RCS thrusters. Let's turn on the angle snap. Go. And make the alignment make the aligning thruster parts easier. Do that by clicking on the toggle snap or pressing C. Ensure that we have a 4x4 symmetry. Go. 4 times symmetry. Turn on and then place a set of 4 RCS thruster blocks on your upper stage. Tiny rocket propellant tank is about the right place. Tiny rocket propellant tank is about the right place to attach these, just in case you need it. Tiny rocket. This one. The above one. Okay. Tiny rocket propellant tank is about the right place to attach these. Don't get the placement quite right, you can also use the offset gizmo. Fine-tune their position. Make sure you turn on angle snap. Wait. Make sure to turn on angle snap. We're using the offset. You want to find adjustments for that. We set our down adjustment anything but fine. Click on the offset mode icon on the upper left, the main editor window. Main. But, at 10:30. Click on the offset mode icon in the upper left of the main editor window, just to the right parts list. Then click on RCS part, drag on the axis and hold on. E100. Yeah, so it's about here then. Okay. Tiny rocket propellant. RCS fuel tank. It should be this one, right? Okay, there we go. So, electric charge. Lots of things on craft uses electric charge, or EC. That's what school scientists call rocket electricity. In order to keep your batteries topped up, you will need a way of generating power. Now, some engines generate electricity while they're running, but you don't want to keep your engine running in orbit. Orbit will get all kinds of messed up, and you'll run out of propellant. Our command pod has some batteries built into it, but to be safe, you can add more batteries and adjust or add solar panels, other electricity generating items. We're going to do both. Adding batteries and solar panels, so switch to electrical. This one. Switch electrical 4x4, then symmetry mode, snap. Have to use our part rotation skills. Oh no. We'll use our part rotation skills to adjust the panels before placing them. That's WASD and E. Grab the aux stat solar panel, this one, and hold it over the lower end of the fuel tank. Fuel tank. Lower end of the fuel tank. A. And now go ahead and place a set of Z100 battery. Hold it over the lower end of the fuel tank. So here and here. Okay. Excellent work. You built a nice starter upper stage build well for orbital exploration. Now we'll need to work on getting it up orbit. Right, we only have 33 minutes left. We'll need to go for the orbital mission. So now we need to work on getting it up into orbit. We'll build up lower stage. In comparison to the upper stage, quite simple. Just add a couple of tanks and engine. That won't be enough alone. However, we'll add some. Add another TD12, stack the coupler. So the coupler. Go. Oh, notice how you added the coupler of fairing is around the engine. Yep, just what's. Ah, I see. That's how they do it, right? T400 fuel tanks. T400. Any? One? Two. How did? There we go. Alt. Add a swivel engine. For the lower stage engine, we would need an engine that is cleaner. Off. Let's go 20 volt per second. Rocket engines measured by scientific impulse or ISP. Okay. And the ISP of an engine changes at the amount but pressure changes, so just as upper stage needed an engine at the good. That is good. At the lower pressure of high altitudes, the lower stage you'll need boosters that are powerful. At the higher pressure and the lower altitude, it helps our boosters. So add big engine you see there, the LVT45 swivel. So engine T45 swivel, right? Next. Swivel. At the stage, it was too powerful, the rocket we're creating, and so you need to lower it. Click. And thrust limit to 65. There we go. Radial decouplers. Nice, you now have the core of your rocket completed, but I said need adding boosters to help sustain engine. Inner engine get the rocket up and running. Add 2 boosters specifically so that our aircraft balance. Time we use radial couplers. There's the one that adds the things from the sides. Go. Times 2. Go. More boosters is something you often hear around the KSC, and now it's time to add some. Add a pair of RT10 hammer SRBs to the decoupler. So we have engines. Hammer, right? RT10. Nice. So tweak SRB thrust, right click on the SRBs, limit it to 30. Nice. So 50. There we go. When I said I'd teach you how to make that pod and thumper craft from production physics. Nice. So add nose cones. Here SRBs are flat. Pancake tiles is simply not good. So, bad aerodynamics. Let's fix that. Nose cones. Nose cones can be found on aerodynamics. Go. Fins. While we're on the tab toolbox, let's add some fins too, which come in various sizes. Yada yada yada. Add the AV or 8 winglets, then 4. This means our surface control surfaces, they also add some extra control authority near the bottom of the lowest fuel tank. They make sure they don't intersect with the decoupler. Okay. So I think what we need to do is something like this. Okay. I must remove snap. Alright. Yeah, I think. In the middle. Oh. That's high now. There we go. Next staging, excellent. Now got all the components on our basic orbital rocket. But let's run through a few extra things for today. Firstly, we should review the staging stack. Check the order of actions displayed here. Luckily, it's lucky I've highlighted for you because the SRBs are set to fire before the sustainer, and that just won't do. You won't have enough thrust to get off the pad away. Move the swivel staging icon down into the same as the SRBs. So this is the swivel, right? Same as the... This is the SRB? No. Swivel, same as... SRBs. Ah, this one. Oh, this is RCS. Where were we? Move the swivel staging icon down into the same stage as SRBs. Note, automatically created staging sequence would work if we did not want the long burning sustainer to ignite the same time. Okay. There we go. Yeah, we just need this to activate the same time. Okay, finally pick up the pod and rotate 90 degrees of the pod. Rotate the ship, not just the VAB. In the VAB, but also set orientation when we go to the launch pad, so our desired flight is 90 degree. By default, the VAB oriented. Here? action groups. So we always make every effort to ensure a brave crew survive, and hopefully we'll be able to same stance in our space program. It doesn't always work out in that way, of course, but it's the thought that counts. With that in mind, let's set up an abort action group for your craft for you to use. Click on the turquoise action groups button on the left of the toolbar. Left. One action. Okay. Action groups let you assign the functions of one or more parts to a single specific key. There are some default action groups: landing gears, custom activated keyboards, side action, and the assigned group. Column and actions can be assigned selected appear in the selection column. Add and remove, simply click on them and remove them. Alright. Now we're going to set up the abort action group created by pressing backspace. So by clicking on the big red abort, the abort. This one. Great. Now click on the decoupler right below the pod. Decouple again. One. Tag. Tag. This one. Wait, what? Hold on. Click on abort. Now click on the decoupler right below the pod and it's the full action group. Fuel tank. There we go. Couple. Finally, click on one of the radial decouplers and assign decouple. Assign decouple to the group. Since these were placed with a symmetry, applying the action on the radial decoupler will apply them all. Now, when you trigger the abort action in flight, capsule will separate from the rest of the ship and it should be safe to land by itself. Remember, deploy your parachute once it's safe, however. This may require... Okay, let's try that again. So, click on abort. Click on the decoupler right below pod. This is the one. Then, click on and decouple action group. Decouple. This one. Then click on each liquid engine. One. Click on each liquid engine, turn on assign, and then click on each liquid engine in turn and assign their shutdown functions to the group. Shutdown, where's the shutdown? Port D12 decoupler. Couple. So liquid engine. Shut down engine. Shut down engine. Shut down. Finally, click on one of the radial decouplers and assign a couple. Huh. Did we do that right? Are we missing engine? So this is a fuel tank, other fuel tank, other fuel tank. Carrier liquid. Reassign the shutdown. This is a fuel tank again. Another fuel tank. Swivel. Hey, well, that should be it, right? No? Wait. Okay, let's try that again. So, pick a board, then select the decoupler, select couple. Click on, yeah, first one, so couple group, so this is the actual group. Click on each liquid engine. This is a fuel tank again, tank again. So this is a carrier engine, then assign their shutdown function. Shut down. Carrier fuel tank. One. Down. Fuel engine. This is just a booster. Okay, so that's not included. Then for this one, decouple. Okay, and that's the only thing that other need to do. Right. So and there we are. Your older rocket is ready to fly. It's been a long lesson. Thanks for hanging there. Long boy. To infinity and beyond. Right, so we will be extending our this stream and go for this last training session. I really want to get this rocket ship across. Yeah, that's good. Looks more of a space or a rocket in space. Right. Today we'll take an official for NSK's program, getting to orbit. Without this skill, we might as well be teaching you Kerbal Flight Simulator. Plus, you've already checked out the other flight tutorials as well as advanced instruction to be familiar with the Kerbal 1 vessel. Oh, on. Right. So, alrighty. Now let's do it. As I said before, the pilot plans you to get a vessel and pilot to orbit. As with the suborbital flight, we will follow a curved path get to a point where we can circularize our orbit. Today's gravity turn, however, will be much shallower than the path we previously followed. Followed previously, that we build a space. We will speed towards orbit. This is different from how the Kerbal pilots of old did it. They would head straight up, then hang right in there as if the air was soup or something. We'll be turning early smoothly. Don't turn too far or you'll be able to. Now, first launch. You now see the marker. Base, there you go. You want Valentina by herb for you, then you can enable SAS and set mode to target after liftoff. Um, yeah, that. Just need to watch this. Quick. I'm start pitching down. Marker. Right. Oh yeah. So we actually don't need to do this anyway since we've turned on CS. Alright. Looking good so far. Almost. Please get ready to eject him. Base now. Nice. Nice. Doing great. Follow the target indicator and get ready to stage again. We start the lower stage. Yeah, Valentina's doing all of this for us. Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay. Let you survive through the first phase. Up mode. Okay. Oh, this is a lot farther when you get. Nice. Okay, now you can find the trajectory while we track the path. If you hover over the axis, the map will be able to see the estimated highest altitude on our future path. You can right click on the marker to get it. Visible. So you move your mouse away. Keep burning along with the engine. Once the axis hits 80 kilometers, cut it off once it's done. You know, keep out your display. Out of the display so that you can track the progress ascending and up. Oops, display. Okay. Nice, nice, nice. So cool, by the way. Right, we're at our second hour mark. Let's just finish this stage, and hopefully by tomorrow, when we do have our free time, I get to play this again. It's really fun, especially learning all of these things at first. And first, once we that's going to get us here. I've made sure the engine is shut off for now, and we'll coast until we're clear. Here at 70 kilometers altitude. Stopping as we coast. That's not what about. It's just gravity trying to bring us down, and air trying to prevent our success. We'll beat it though. Looking good. Well, keep an eye on altitude today so you can track your progress. ascending to your up. Right. Nice. Nice. This is we're still a little way ahead. Looks like this is the time it's going to take, around 4 minutes. So yeah, it really does provide you, I'm guessing, with at least a close feel of how space programs are being done for all countries, of course. And yeah, um, please be having a nerd brain, having to try something like this as a game is quite exciting, very, very fun, to say the least. So we're actually also traveling across lands quite quickly, as you can see there. So if you have traveled by plane before, this um, distance being shown as you travel is very, very fast. So yeah, we're traveling around 2,200 miles or meters per second in orbit. Yeah, so let's look at the view from our pilot, Valentina Kerman. So this is her um, seat here. No, remember at this mode you'll try to be cut yourself. This is quite fun. Please try to imagine what it looks like to be an astronaut, see everything outside the cockpit. It's fun. It's genuinely fun. Alright, 2 minutes out. This is so cool. So yeah, now that we're clearing our that's where we can warp head through, get up to speed. Oh, and warp, yeah. Going to be a lot better. According to your vessel, we're almost there. Now we need to just accelerate some more so that we will pass it. What orbit is falling and missing. Gravity will be pulling us towards down. So, rotate your craft align with the prograde marker. Learn more about or use SAS maneuver mode on. So yeah, let's activate maneuver mode. Let's do maneuver mode. Just want to enjoy this right now. It's so cool, really so cool. Yeah, what I was trying to say earlier was in my kids' play school, she's actually learning about space now, and she actually had a rocket, of course, a paper rocket made. She was really happy about it, and unfortunately, it's behind me and it's too far. I can't reach it right now. Yeah. Once I get a hang of this game, I'll be sure to bring her along with me on the next, possibly on the next stream as well. And from the last one, I think a lot of the other guys or a lot of views were actually from her. Yeah, again, this is really cool. Really enjoying this. Up. Get your engines. Once you've completed the burn, I've got to bottle up. Congratulations, you're now finally officially in orbit. That's quite the achievement. Difference between suborbital hop and just reaching orbit as just now far early return. Notice how we designed our rocket to operate reasonably through and didn't go straight to ridiculous speeds for powering the ship's common. So that's far as I'll be taking you today. We can catch up again in the Orbit 101 tutorial where I'll show you about orbits and adjusting them. If you want to fly solo for a bit, you can also try bringing Valentina home. For this tutorial flight, you will need to turn around 80 degrees and burn retrograde until your periapsis is less than 20 kilometers. At which this height is aspect, it will do most of the braking for you. Page away upper stage when you hit that atmosphere's edge. Orient, retrograde, and re-enter. I thought you in flight basics, or simply end the scenario, pause the game, and I'll see you later. Right, like Valentina here, enjoying the fight as well. And from the looks of it, we're in the dark side of Kerbal to the moment, and we're still very far ahead or far behind our flight path, and we're actually over 7 minutes in. So this is where I'll be ending the stream for tonight. So yeah, I'll be playing this again once I've completed all of the tutorials. This is what I've expected when I started, or I viewed the intro video from the Epic Games Store. So yeah, it's very chill game, and well, at this point, because I'm still learning the basics of it, but once we get the hang of it and we're doing our own missions, I think it's going to be a lot more action-packed, to say the least. So anyway, that's it. This has been Schyfleikz again. If you like these videos, please do give me a subscribe and Twitch, or no, follow on Twitch. Subscribe and like my videos on YouTube, and me a like as well on. Yeah, that would be it. So, guys, and see you again on the next time. Bye bye.